Hello! Welcome to Talk Emma Learn English. Here, we learn English by talking, listening, and practicing together.
I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Before we begin, let me say this gently. If you are listening to this podcast right now, you are already improving your English. Even listening is practice.
That's true. And if this podcast helps you feel more confident, even a little bit, don't forget to subscribe and like the episode. It really supports us and helps us make more conversations like this.
Yes, and today's episode is going to help you with something very small, but very powerful. Very small words, very big confusion.
Exactly. Today we're talking about for and since.
Ah, those two words. Everyone knows them, but everyone also mixes them up.
You're not alone if you've ever said something like, I live here since 5 years.
Or I work here for 2020.
Yes, and then you pause and think, wait, is that right?
And your confidence drops a little.
But today, we're going to fix that slowly, calmly, and in a very natural way.
No grammar stress.
No complicated rules.
Just real conversation, like two friends talking.
Okay, Jack, before we start teaching, let me ask you something simple.
Okay, I'm ready.
How long have you been doing this podcast?
I've been doing this podcast for 3 years.
Nice. And when did you start?
I started in 2022.
So you could also say,
I've been doing this podcast since 2022.
perfect. And listeners, did you notice something?
We talked about the same situation, but we used two different words.
Yes, same life, same story, different focus.
And that's the key difference between for and since.
Let's slow it down and feel it.
When I said for 3 years, what was I talking about?
You were talking about a time length.
Exactly. 3 years, 2 hours, 5 minutes.
So let's say it clearly for everyone listening.
We use for when we talk about a period of time,
A duration.
how long something continues.
Now let's talk about since.
Since is different.
Since talks about a starting point,
A moment in time,
a date, a year, a day, a time.
like since Monday, since 2020, since this morning.
Good. Now let's put this into real life, not textbook life.
Yes, please. Textbooks make me sleepy.
Imagine this. You meet an old friend at a cafe.
Coffee is involved?
Of course, always. Your friend says, wow, I haven't seen you in a long time.
And you reply,
I've been living in this city for 5 years.
why for?
Because 5 years is a time period.
Good. Now the friend asks, when did you move here?
And you say, I've been living here since 2019.
Perfect. Same life, same city, different question, different word.
And this is why learners get confused.
Because in their mind, it's the same sentence.
But English listens carefully to how you think about time.
Time length or starting point.
Let's do more examples, everyday ones.
Okay, work life.
You're at work. A colleague asks, are you new here?
You say, no, I've worked here for 2 years.
Nice. Then your boss asks, when did you join?
I've worked here since March.
See how natural that sounds?
And listeners, notice something important.
Both sentences often use present perfect
I have worked, I have lived, I have studied.
because we're talking about something that started in the past and continues now.
Now, Emma, let me ask something learners always ask.
Go ahead.
Why can't we use for with a long time?
Yes, because a long time is still a duration.
So I can say, I've known her for a long time.
Correct. But you cannot say, I've known her since a long time,
That sounds strange in English.
because a long time is not a starting point.
Exactly.
Let's do a small emotional example.
Oh, I like those.
Imagine someone says,
I've been feeling tired for weeks.
that feels heavy.
Yes.
You feel the duration.
Now another version.
I've been feeling tired since last week.
Now we know when it started.
And English loves clarity.
Can I say something honest?
Of course.
Many learners are afraid to speak because of small words like this.
That's true.
They think, what if I say for instead of since?
Let me say this clearly to everyone listening.
Please do.
Making mistakes with for and since will not stop communication.
People will still understand you.
But learning the difference will make you feel more confident.
And confidence changes everything.
Let's practice together, slowly.
Okay, I'll say a situation. You choose the word.
Listeners, play along in your head.
I've been waiting 30 minutes.
For.
Good. I've been waiting 8 a.m.
Since.
Perfect. She's been on the phone an hour.
For.
She's been on the phone morning.
Since.
Nice. See, you already know this.
You just needed calm practice.
And permission to go slow.
Now, before we move deeper, let's talk about feelings.
Feelings?
Yes, because language is emotional.
True.
When you say, I've been alone for a long time, it feels heavy.
Yes.
You feel the duration.
Now another version.
I've been alone since last week.
Now we know when it started.
And English loves clarity.
Can I say something honest?
Of course.
Many learners are afraid to speak because of small words like this.
That's true.
They think, what if I say for instead of since?
Let me say this clearly to everyone listening.
Please do.
Making mistakes with for and since will not stop communication.
People will still understand you.
But learning the difference will make you feel more confident.
And confidence changes everything.
Let's practice together, slowly.
Okay, I'll say a situation. You choose the word.
Listeners, play along in your head.
I've been waiting 30 minutes.
For.
Good. I've been waiting 8 a.m.
Since.
Perfect. She's been on the phone an hour.
For.
She's been on the phone morning.
Since.
Nice. See, you already know this.
You just needed calm practice.
And permission to go slow.
Now, before we move deeper, let's talk about feelings.
Feelings?
Yes, because language is emotional.
True.
When you say, I've been alone for a long time, it feels heavy.
Yes.
You feel the duration.
Now another version.
I've been alone since last week.
Now we know when it started.
And English loves clarity.
Can I say something honest?
Of course.
Many learners are afraid to speak because of small words like this.
That's true.
They think, what if I say for instead of since?
Let me say this clearly to everyone listening.
Please do.
Making mistakes with for and since will not stop communication.
People will still understand you.
But learning the difference will make you feel more confident.
And confidence changes everything.
Let's practice together, slowly.
Okay, I'll say a situation. You choose the word.
Listeners, play along in your head.
I've been waiting 30 minutes.
For.
Good. I've been waiting 8 a.m.
Since.
Perfect. She's been on the phone an hour.
For.
She's been on the phone morning.
Since.
Nice. See, you already know this.
You just needed calm practice.
And permission to go slow.
Now, before we move deeper, let's talk about feelings.
Feelings?
Yes, because language is emotional.
True.
When you say, I've been alone for a long time, it feels heavy.
Yes.
When you say, I've been alone since my friend moved away, it feels personal.
And real.
So these words don't just show time,
They show story.
and that's why today's topic matters.
We're not just learning grammar.
We're learning how to tell our life story in English.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
All right, let's keep going. Gently. And in the next part, we'll bring for and since into daily routines, habits, and small conversations people actually have.
Yes, morning routines, habits, waiting, learning English itself.
Because you've been learning English for...
How long?
For many years,
And since when?
since I realized communication matters more than perfection.
Now, you said something important earlier.
Hmm?
You said you've been learning English for many years.
Yes,
And you said you started since the moment you realized communication matters more than perfection.
that moment changed everything for me.
And listeners, that sentence already shows how for and since live inside emotions, not just grammar.
So let's move into daily life now.
Yes, let's talk about routine life.
Morning routines, habits, waiting.
Learning, work, life itself.
Okay, let me start with a simple question.
Go ahead.
What time do you wake up every day?
Around 6.
And how long does it take you to feel fully awake?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
Be honest.
I've been feeling sleepy for about 30 minutes after waking up,
Perfect use of for.
because 30 minutes is a time period.
Now let me change the question.
Okay.
When did this habit start?
I've been feeling sleepy since winter started.
Nice.
Same feeling, different focus.
Listeners, notice something again.
English keeps asking you one thing.
Are you talking about how long or from when?
That's it.
Now let's imagine a very common situation.
Waiting
Yes, waiting. Everyone waits.
at bus stops, at hospitals, at offices.
On phone calls,
So imagine you're waiting for a friend
you look at your phone, you sigh, you text them.
and you say, I've been waiting for 20 minutes.
Natural. Real. Now imagine your friend replies,
When did you arrive? And you say, I've been waiting since 4 p.m.
very clear and very human. Now let's talk about something emotional.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, not too heavy.
Okay,
Let's imagine someone learning English.
that's everyone listening right now.
Exactly.
They might say, I've been learning English for 5 years.
That sounds strong.
But sometimes they add, and I still feel nervous.
That's honest.
Now, if they say, I've been learning English since school,
That tells us when it started.
and sometimes they realize something, they realize they've been learning wrong methods for years,
And that's okay.
because awareness is growth.
Can we talk about one mistake learners make? Sometimes they say,
I am here since 2 hours.
yes, that one.
So let's gently fix it.
We don't shame mistakes.
We understand them.
So the correct way is,
I have been here for 2 hours.
why?
Because 2 hours is a duration.
And if you want to use since,
I have been here since 3 o'clock.
perfect.
Notice we also changed the tense. I have been.
Yes, present perfect continuous.
But don't panic.
Yes, don't panic about grammar names.
Focus on feeling.
Time feeling.
Let's do something fun now.
I like fun.
I'll say a life situation.
Okay,
You respond naturally.
deal.
You look tired.
I've been working for 10 hours.
Nice.
Now you ask me,
When did you start?
when did you start?
I've been working since morning.
Very good.
Now another.
Okay.
Your phone battery is low.
Uh-oh.
You say,
My phone has been dying for an hour.
that's funny and real.
Now someone asks,
When did it start acting weird?
My phone has been acting strange since yesterday.
Perfect.
Let's talk about relationships.
Okay.
Friends, family.
These sentences matter there.
For example,
I've known her for 10 years.
that sounds deep.
But if I say,
I've known her since childhood.
that sounds emotional.
Same connection.
Different angle.
And this is why English feels rich.
Because it gives you choices.
I want listeners to hear this clearly.
Say it.
If you mix for and since, people will still understand you.
Yes.
But when you use them correctly,
You sound calm, confident, natural.
like someone who belongs in the conversation.
Now let's gently connect this to confidence.
Okay,
Many learners say,
I've been shy for a long time.
that's honest.
But sometimes they realize
I've been shy since someone laughed at my English.
that sentence carries a story.
And English lets you tell that story.
That's powerful.
Very.
Before we continue further, let's slow down one more time.
Yes.
Repeat this inside your head.
For, how long?
Since, from when.
That's it.
No pressure.
No rush.
You've been listening carefully
For this entire episode,
and learning naturally.
since the moment you pressed play.
That's a good feeling to carry forward.
Let's keep the same flow,
Same conversation.
same energy.
Because English doesn't change suddenly.
It grows, slowly, naturally.
Now, let me ask you something a little personal.
Uh-oh.
Go on.
Have you ever felt tired of learning English?
Yes, many times.
And for how long did that feeling stay?
I felt tired for months
That sentence already sounds heavy.
because it was heavy.
And when did that tired feeling start?
It started since I kept comparing myself to others.
See how powerful that is?
Same emotion.
Different clarity.
Listeners, this is not just grammar.
This is self-expression.
Now, let's move into something everyone experiences.
Habits.
Daily habits.
Good ones, bad ones.
And confusing ones.
Let's start simple.
Okay?
Coffee.
My best friend.
How long have you been drinking coffee?
I've been drinking coffee for 10 years.
And when did it start?
I've been drinking coffee since college.
Perfect.
But now imagine this sentence.
Go on.
I've been trying to quit coffee for 6 months.
That sounds like a struggle.
Because it is.
And why?
Because I've been stressed since work got busier.
Now that feels like a real story.
Exactly.
English is storytelling.
Even small sentences tell stories.
Now let's talk about work life.
Very relatable.
Imagine someone says, I've been working here for 3 years.
Very normal. Then they add,
I've been feeling bored since last year.
oof.
That hits.
Because now we know when the feeling changed.
This is why since is emotional.
And for is factual.
Nice way to remember it.
Can we talk about waiting again?
Sure.
Because waiting teaches patience and English.
True.
Imagine you're on hold during a phone call.
Everyone hates that.
You say,
I've been on hold for 15 minutes.
and when someone asks,
When did the call start?
I've been on hold since 10 a.m.
Clear, calm, confident.
Now let's gently correct another common mistake.
Okay.
Some learners say,
I am learning English since 2 years.
we understand them.
But let's make it natural.
I have been learning English for 2 years.
I have been learning English since 2022. Notice something important.
Yes,
Both use have been because the action started in the past and continues now,
that's the feeling you want.
not grammar fear.
Feeling.
Now let's add a little humor.
Please.
Imagine someone says, I've been dieting for 3 days.
That sounds hopeful. Then they whisper.
I've been thinking about pizza since morning.
That is very honest.
And very human.
Now, listeners, let's do a tiny practice together. No pressure, just listen and feel.
I'll say a sentence with for.
Then I'll say the same idea with since. Ready?
Ready. I've been living in this city for 5 years.
Same idea.
I've been living in this city since 2019.
Different focus.
Now, emotionally,
Both feel stable.
but since feels more anchored.
Nice word.
Anchored to a moment.
I want to talk about confidence again.
Yes,
Because language and confidence grow together.
always. Some people say, I've been scared to speak for a long time.
That's real.
But then they realize
I've been scared since someone corrected me harshly.
that awareness matters.
Because now healing can start.
And English becomes kinder.
What should listeners remember right now?
That mistakes are part of time.
And time is what for and since talk about.
Beautifully said. Now let's slow down a little and talk about something deeper. Real life change.
Yes, because for and since are not only about time, they're about journeys.
Exactly. When someone says, I've been trying to improve my English for a long time, we hear effort.
But when they say, I've been trying to improve my English since I moved abroad, we understand the reason.
That reason makes the sentence stronger.
And more human.
Let's talk about goals for a moment.
Everyone has them, but not everyone talks about them.
Imagine someone saying, I've wanted to speak English confidently for years.
That sounds like a dream.
Then they add, I've wanted this since I failed an interview.
Now it becomes a story.
This is why listeners should not think only about grammar
They should think about meaning.
and intention.
Let's take a very common real-life situation. Learning English on and off.
Yes, many people start, stop, then start again.
Someone might say, I've been learning English for 5 years.
But quietly they know the truth.
I've been learning English seriously since last year.
That sentence feels honest.
And honesty builds confidence.
Now let's gently talk about emotions, because language carries feelings.
Absolutely.
Someone may say, I've been feeling nervous for days.
That tells us the length of the feeling.
But when they say, I've been feeling nervous since my presentation, we understand the trigger.
And understanding reduces fear,
This is why English becomes easier when you connect it to your life.
not to a textbook.
Now let's do something very practical for our listeners.
Good idea.
I'll say a few natural sentences. Just listen.
No pressure to repeat.
I've been practicing speaking for 10 minutes a day.
Very realistic.
I've been practicing speaking since I stopped waiting to feel ready.
That's the real lesson.
I think this episode is not just teaching words,
It's teaching awareness,
awareness of time,
awareness of growth,
and awareness of progress, even slow progress.
especially slow progress.
Before we gently close this conversation, let me say one thing clearly.
Please do.
If you remember only one idea from today, remember this. English is not about how long
It's about where you started.
and why you continued. You've been learning for your future and growing,
Since the day you chose not to give up, that choice matters.
and it shows in your English and beyond.
Keep listening.
Keep practicing, and most importantly,
Keep believing in your progress.
bye everyone.